Hey everybody, it's Greg Rice. We're here in West Hartford. We're in Blueback Square and we're with Mr. Nicholas Greene. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And Nick is a real estate professional at the Miale team here at Keller Williams Legacy Partners in West Hartford. Nick and I, we know each other from back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. High
Nick
school.
was a Woodland guy.
Yeah.
I was a Noggy guy, but we're Valley boys. And we're reuniting, and we both share the common thread of real estate. Now, obviously, I'm in the rental and investment side, and Nick is in the purchase and the sales side.
Yeah.
So, Nick, when did you get going? When did you get started?
2018. I got my license. Before that, I was actually helping out a broker local to me, kind of like an executive assistant, and I was just in the wheelhouse of everything, writing contracts, helping stuff, dropping off lockboxes, and seeing the in and out of it. Yeah. And I love real estate, and I was like, I need to get my license now and start making more money from from this kind
of stuff. For
yourself.
Yeah. So how did you settle upon here?
A couple years at another broker for a while, and then just trying to explore my options. I mean, luckily, we're the investment in this business, so every broker has a different, split, a different benefit, different features, and I wanted to find a certain culture, team aspect, and I found it here at the Miale team. Yeah.
And talk about location, one of the best locations, right?
Yeah.
How do you not go to every bar and restaurant every day? How do you get work done here?
It is. This is like a happy hour central, right in the center of West Hartford. Beautiful restaurants, great layout. Even I step out to take a walk just like in the middle of the day sometimes.
Yeah, it's
nice.
beautiful.
Courtyard behind us.
And it's a huge office. How many people are here at this location?
Yeah, Keller Williams Legacy Partners has over 450 agents. Our team alone has around 28. We spread all over Connecticut, and we also have our success team with like listing managers and transaction coordinators.
Yeah. Big operation.
Yeah. We're growing, trying to get to like 40, 50 agents.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm actually in the market right now to purchase a property, and Nick's been helping me out big time. And what we're finding in the market is that the prices are high. Sometimes the quality is low. Mm-hmm. A lot of these properties need 40, 50, 60K of renovations after you just bought it 40 or 50K above asking price.
Yeah.
So is that the trend? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, and we've been seeing that for a while. I think Connecticut wasn't used to it. Ever since even the 2008 crash, Connecticut was usually bottom 4, bottom 5 in appreciation ever since then. So suddenly 2020 hit. Connecticut has been a life event state for a long time. You're usually born here and staying here. Yeah. You don't run into a lot of people who are like, I'm retiring, going to Connecticut. Yeah. So it's like you're coming here for work, you're born here. Yeah. New York, Mass, Rhode Island, they might be on the borders because it's affordable here and they just drive to work. When all that built up and now you have the millennials coming in, I mean, I'm 32, you're talking about like 27 to 36-year-olds all ready to buy a house. Yeah. The baby boomer generation kind of coming off of like, do we sell our house? But they're holding on to their houses. Mm-hmm. And once the rates went so low, the bottleneck of like, we didn't build enough over the years, there wasn't even much appreciation here to come. Here comes this wave of buyers. Yep. A lot of things going up, and the supply is so low that you are making offers on homes that might need work, right? Because no one was expecting to sell. Maybe even 5 years ago, 4 years ago, they see their house go up $100,000. Right. Different kind of wealth. You're talking about a different kind of number. Maybe they didn't put the work into their house, and now they're putting it on the market, taking advantage of low supply, and we are seeing that where some houses need that loving, some are turnkey, but you're paying for that for sure. Right.
Now, what's a turnkey house, in your opinion, going for these days?
Yeah, depending where you are. Here in West Hartford, it's the range of $500,000 to $2 million.
Wow.
If we're down in our valley area, 300 to 500, kind of like that turnkey.
Gotcha.
Anything else now, Connecticut's becoming 220 to 275 is that first-time home buyer. Well, it used to kind of be 180 area, so we're seeing that creep up.
Interesting. Yeah. And are you working with any investors?
Yeah. You yourself, I've worked with a few New York investors and investors right here in Connecticut. Surprisingly enough, a lot of even like the Fairfield County investors starting to kind of creep up into Connecticut because they're finding affordability in other counties where Fairfield has, 90% of the wealth here in Connecticut.
For sure. And how about rents? What's a average rental price in the Hartford area?
Hartford area, you're probably looking at mid, 1,500 to 1,800, right, as an average. Because we do see up to 4,000 or 5,000 again in these areas, and then we get as low as 950 to 1,000 in other neighborhoods.
4,000 or 5,000?
Yeah.
For
rents,
new construction stuff down here.
The smaller like units that are going up soon that are like 600 square feet. You get your 1 bedroom, granite countertops, living room. They're going to be 1,800 to 2,100 alone.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Other areas with 3 and 4 bedrooms and some of the landscapes here in the center, you're looking at $3,500 and stuff for rent.
Damn.
Yeah.
And jumping around a little bit, I just thought of it. What are buyers and sellers not considering that you, every time you see it happen, you're like, I wish they knew that, or I wish that I could get that into their brain. What do you wish people kind of came in and didn't have to learn the hard way, perhaps?
I think the long-term patience of real estate, right? Some of these, do I overpay for a house? You know, what is overpaying when right now it might be worth this, but what's your long-term goal of staying in the house? Someone who bought in 2006 might have been complaining, but if they were selling today, they're happy as can be. You know, someone who might buy today, but they're looking to move in a month or a year, or they're worried that their job can transfer them somewhere quickly. Yeah. I think there's more risk there, but I'm trying to teach people, like, looking at their finances differently, where it's going in the long run, what things are worth in the long run, what appreciation looks like, what a game plan and having goals later in life as far as how long you're going to live here. The ones who come in with family and they know they want a school district and their kids might be here for 10 to 15 years, you know, they usually, they get that. You know, they're built on that patience. They're growing their family for a reason. Some people don't have that yet, or they're young professionals always on the go. We want to bounce around and do stuff, and we're renting more. So it is kind of about slowing the people down. What's their goals? What's their mindset? We're looking at 5 years, 7 years, 9 years down the road. And how can you even turn this single family into a rental in the future? Right. So. Long-term planning, and I think that's the hardest thing teaching people. You can talk money all day, you can go show homes all day and do spins around the kitchen and say how much you love it, but when it comes down to, like, this is your payment every 30 days, this is what a depreciating and appreciating asset looks like, you got to give it time, and you need to keep those relationships long-term. That's why even after closing, I'm always keeping everybody up to date with what their house is worth.
And I think it's hard to teach patience, especially nowadays, because people are so used to getting what they want, when they want, however they want. And then you throw COVID in the mix where, like you said, prices went bananas, rates went low. We got spoiled as a society.
Very spoiled.
Oh my God, I got $100,000 in appreciation. And I didn't touch anything.
Didn't have to do a thing.
So the old school way, 3 to 5% per year, and then maybe after you paid your house off in 30 years, you could sell it for double what you bought it for. And that was your retirement, and you go to Florida, you put kids through college. Those days, I think, are still there, but people aren't going to wait for those days to happen anymore. In Rhode Island, the average tenancy stay for a homeowner is approximately 48 months. Is that crazy? 4 years is what people in Rhode Island will last in a single family home. So I think that the patience and the we're going to grow old here and this is our forever home, I think 100%. Those are evaporated. What do you think?
Definitely. And what 2020 and putting people working from home in those situations, that's changed. Like the work environments where you can work from, we don't have to stay right here in this town. You know, we could move outwards, get a bigger home, sell, whether it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years later. My kids now are getting older. We'll move again and get a house that's smaller now. There's definitely... Moving is an emotional life event kind of state. We're seeing the death, the divorce, the job transfers, the kids and needing more space, the kids leaving and needing less space. You're always going to kind of get that. We had a little bit more fun and play in 2020, 2021 with the cheap money. It made people go like, I can get a $1,400 mortgage and buy a $250,000 house. That was happening.
Which is wild.
That's kind of gone now. So it's really the emotional life event, people making the choices. And investors themselves saying, again, investors are built on patience, right? Some were born with it, some bought their first property and saw what 3 to 5 years did and said, I should buy more of these and wait even longer. So once that happens and more people get into that, I think that it'll be greater for people building their wealth, but also does that put a bigger restraint on the market with people holding the houses? Because we're seeing that too, right? I'm going to retire and I thought I was going to move and sell to Florida, but I just gained $100,000 of equity and someone will rent my house for $3,000 a month. Do I sell this house? And now that doesn't give the opportunity of another buyer to purchase it. So this might be a 7-year, 5-year thing that's going to continue to happen. So that's why we're still educating everybody and saying real estate's a good thing to buy here in New England and Connecticut due to our supply being so low, doing it to still being affordable to other cities around the country. And I think that even yourself being in Rhode Island, you look at Connecticut and say, look what I can get over here when it's like 45 minutes an hour away. It's pretty cool.
A lot of people in Rhode Island will move to kind of the Sterling area, Plainfield, Onico, and you get double the land, usually double the house, maybe not as nice of a house, for less than what you would get in Rhode Island, but you're driving 40 minutes now to and from.
Exactly.
So, like you said, I think people use the edges of Connecticut for value.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what happened like Fairfield County. You can call it like New York City Junior. It's just got everybody down there. You're dealing with traffic, but you're going to deal with higher salaries, higher gas, higher rent, everything. Condos down there are $350,000 for one bedroom, 500, 600 square feet. Yeah.
And what's something that you've noticed in your 5 years now that you had no idea about when you started? Like, what's something that you squeezed nectar out and you're like, wow, nobody could have taught me this, or nobody knew this?
Yeah, I think definitely the financial gain I've earned from this is the network I have of every walk of life I've met. Yourself, people on my team, co-brokes, friends' parents. You come across people who really have a certain value on wealth and real estate that you didn't even know about. It almost was kind of like a kept secret.
Yeah.
And I've been going to more and more investor meetups and network events where there is a whole world of people who enjoy real estate, enjoy wealth building, enjoy sharing ideas and connecting with each other and helping each other out, because there's enough business to go around.
Right.
And I think that's what I learned is, when you're always on the outside of something, can I do it? Is the business too hard? You see somebody else doing well, somebody not. It's the amount of work you're going to put in. And at the end of the day, I mean, our team can do 480 to 520 units in a year. And you might think locally, like, wow, that's a lot. But at the scale, there's going to be 70,000 closings in Connecticut, which have two sides, which is 140,000. 500 doesn't even put a scratch, in that kind of, in the side of transactions. So what I've learned is there's enough business to go around.
Oh, yeah.
We should grow and network with each other instead of using each other as competition, and just continue to build the relationships with clients so that you get your fair share of that business, right?
Wow. Yeah. So that's a good number. 70,000 divided by year. What's that? 200 closings a day.
Yeah, I mean,
On average.
And you're looking, like I said, and being two sides of every transaction.
Right.
This year, I mean, Connecticut's going to start to float down towards like in the lower 60s, higher 50,000s because of the low supply. But again, 58. Say it was 58,000 transactions. That's a lot going around for the state of Connecticut. Yeah.
And your office doing 500 is a lot of work and a lot of time, and it's only a pebble in that.
Exactly, in the pool of everything. Because you got commercial, you have investment properties, you have residential, you have rentals, you have vacation homes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the versatility and the demographics of real estate.
Yeah. And one of my favorite questions to ask people is this one: what is your biggest weakness?
Oh, my biggest weakness. I always took a lot of my deals so personal. Like I felt like I'm in it with them.
Gotcha.
Like, how dare they not negotiate this with me, or they deserve this and that. And for my first probably 2 to 3 years, I'm 5 years in now, it definitely, I think, hindered me on some growth I could have had in that area. And since I've joined this team, they've taught me that kind of letting go.
Yep.
Stay out of the transaction and be the professional and guide your client. Just show your client the paths that they can take and let them make the best choice for themselves. So I'm getting better at that weakness. Sometimes I'm still very involved and love to empower my clients, but I definitely need to step back a little bit sometimes and just let the transaction do itself.
So you're overly passionate, you could say.
Yeah, I know, and I know it's kind of one of those everyone always says that's my weakness, but honestly, when you're in a business like this with a lot of emotion and dealing with the biggest financial choices people make,
correct.
You're in it, and you feel like any mistake is all your fault. So I had to, that would always hinder me, or sometimes it gets you nervous about making a negotiation call. And these past couple of years, which has been awesome because I've seen my business grow from it, is that I've let that go and just be the professional in it, empower my client, let them know how it goes, and have a really good relationship with the co-broke on the other side, because we're both in this together.
And finally, before we go, what's something that you want the folks at home, the audience, to know and remember about you?
No matter where you are or who you're dealing with, I'm always here for a question to help you out, guide you in any way. Love what I do, have a high passion for it, and it doesn't matter who you are. Reach out for a question, network, grab a coffee, grab a beer, whatever it is. Love to meet new people.
Grab
Connecticut
each other.
area. Yeah, grab each other. Grab each other.
That's
Hold on
awkward.
strong. That's how we do it. And I mean, being here at Keller Williams, we can also help people across the country. You need connections or contractors or anything in different states, reach out, give me a call. And like I said, you ever want to come down here in the center and have a good time, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Don't be ridiculous. Hang out with Nicholas.
There it is.
And he has my full and complete endorsement. He's been working with me for months now, and I'm hard to please. I have a high bar. I have high expectations, and Nick exceeds them.
That's it, man.
Respect.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So once again, Greg Rice, we're here in West Hartford, in Blueback Square. We're with Mr. Nicholas Greene.
Appreciate
Great job,
it, man.
brother.
Thank you, man.
Any questions for me, put them in the comments field below. Once again, Greg Rice here in West Hartford from Nexus Property Management, your property managed.